Alright guys, welcome back. So before the video starts, we have a new code which is going to give you an extra 100 free energy. Nothing crazy, but one you definitely still want to do. Of course, if you want to do it on Android, because I believe it is different on iOS. On Android, you can go towards your game settings, go towards your account, and then boom, put in redeem code. And for this code, the code is 7DSI Draw 813. And once again, if you do this, it'll give you 100 free draw power. If you want to do an iOS, you can't do it in game, I believe, but you can do it on the official website. So I'll leave a link in the top of the description, which you're going to click on, and it will open up this exact page. Just won't be on, obviously, your actual app. You got to do it on like your Safari, wherever you'll have on iOS. Okay, so potential is a way for you to break your characters. You're able to give way more stats towards your characters that can definitely make them clear more stages and make them deal more damage or survive even more. I know when starting off the game, even now for the past few days now, I've gotten a lot of questions saying what should I be re-rolling for and what should I be putting on my characters. And I would say most of the time for you lot, it's going to be attack and HP. There's a few characters and a few situations where you might want to go towards something different, but I do know there's like a big thing right now where like, yo, should I be going towards accuracy? No, accuracy is not a useless stat. I'll quickly show you actually, because I had this team set up. But you see right now what accuracy actually is. There's gonna be a few misses. The misses is what your accuracy is based off. So if your accuracy is way too low, then you'll be getting a lot of misses. And even right now, my Melly's like I think 8-star, 9-star near. He still gets a few misses. But what you can do is actually bring a character like Monascula, for example, that can actually increase your whole team's accuracy. So while there may be a situation where you're getting too many misses, rather than wasting a whole potential slot on accuracy, you're better just bringing a buffer. But even then, you don't really need to bring a buffer. You can just level up your account, because as you can see right now, we have extra 12k accuracy, because there are many ways in the game for you to get more accuracy, and you'll do that by simply playing the game, right? The Codex can give you a lot of accuracy, so leveling up like Narrowbuster, for example, and Awakener can give you a bunch of extra accuracy. Of course, as well, in your Tavern, in your Sacred Treasure, I believe it's the third one actually, or the second one. Yeah, second one can give you more accuracy, 15%. Like, it's not worth wasting a whole potential slot on one specific character just to get the accuracy. You're better off just literally eventually level up your count through obviously resets, and of course as well in your constellation, you can see right here all like the bullseye ones are giving you once again more accuracy. So yeah, don't waste accuracy on your potential, just give them towards all attack. And it's for the main reason because a lot of their skills, as you can read right now, scale of attack. Melee does damage equal to his attack. So if his attack was low because you're wasting accuracy, sure, you're getting that guarantee hit. Where in this situation, for example, with full potential, sure, I might miss one attack, but you can just retry again, right? And then boom, deal even more damage because my attack is so high. So yeah, don't waste an attack. I will say for actual tank characters though, you should be going towards HP. For example, Delgado, one of the best tanks you lot should be using. His actual buff skill absorbs damage based off the caster's HP. So in that situation, yes, go straight towards HP. There is a few situations, like I think Diane, this is the only character in the game I think that does this, to be fair, where she restores HP based off her defense. So, like, maybe you might want to throw in a bit of defense for her because she's actually healing off defense. But like I said, that's only for that specific character. There's a new character right now, obviously Meliodas, who wants to crit, right? He wants to crit. But like I said, like accuracy, there's ways to increase your crit chance in the game passively without actually wasting a slot like crit chance on him. I decided to test that out to see if it was actually worth it. But getting 4% crit chance is generally nothing when I'm getting, as you can see down here, 37% passively because my count is leveled up. Also, you can bring, you know, cards that buff up crit chance, like of course for reds, for example, you can bring a let. I just get a passively 20%, wasting 4% on a potential, and that's a legendary percent, is not worth it. So yeah, generally speaking, when you're leveling up your actual characters and potentials for all your attackers, just always goes towards attack, and for your tanks, go towards HP. But then what about the debuffers and the support characters and the healers? Debuffers have to stress even more important. The debuffers, they need to have attack on the actual you know, main potential, right? Because the actual ability of dealing damage over time is based off their attack, right? Like it deals damage equal to the actual attack as well. So yeah, do not waste, especially important for these lot, do not waste anything other than actual attack, because you want those damage over time effects to deal even more damage, so you go towards all attack. Healers as well. Healers are a bit tricky because, not really actually. So Gloxinia, for example, his range is really good. So we drag and drop Gloxinia in, and then we also put Elizabeth in as well. both of these characters are healers, right? And the way heal works in this game, very much like Rank as you play it, the heals are based off their actual attack. So when you're actually using these characters, if you want them to heal more, you want to go toward attack. But the reason why Gloxinia is so good as well, if we start a match right now, as you can see, Gloxinia is a ranged unit. I mean, he's giving the backline. So you don't really care about him taking damage, because the time he does take damage is normally when your allies are actually dead. Where you can see someone like Elizabeth, who is a like melee character, her range is very short. So most of the time she's going to be in the front line. But generally speaking, you're not really going to be using her in actual like, you know, PvP. You're only going to use in like more or less PvE content, but there's sometimes where bosses do like AoE damage or attack the front line. So maybe for Elizabeth, you might want to go towards HP for one of the roles to make it survive. But then again, Elizabeth is not even the best healer. You can just go towards Gerard, who's another range unit like Gloxinia. Okay, so there is one character I want to talk about, and that is Fairy King. He is a character that, if you have him at 0-star, his accuracy is going to be low. But then again, I think you can literally just, once again, max that can a bit more. But I do know when I was using King for a lot, his massive AoE burst he does, a lot of times, especially during this actual dungeon right here, it missed a lot. So maybe at like one point for like a week or two before I leveled up my account, I could have put a bit more accuracy onto King to make him in particular do more damage. It was only him missing because he was obviously 1-star. He was the only character missing. So right now we buff up. You can see, I mean, there's a few misses there. But that's because, once again, I'm going towards higher levels. But you can see right now, King is actually doing pretty good damage. I mean, once again, maybe I can put a bit of accuracy onto him because he's missing a lot, because he's lower dupe level in comparison to where I am at right now. But once again, I don't think it's worth the slot, right? And then the final thing I want to get on about accuracy as well, it has never mattered towards me in the game of playing, apart from the final stage. It's actually funny, when you get there in a few weeks' time, or unless you're spending money, right? Story mode has been a breeze, technically speaking, other than like leveling my characters. But like where it actually mattered was actually in like the final 2 stages. The Vivian boss for stage 2400, I mean, it's not Vivian is rolling that, but it's basically Vivian. She actually was very annoying. And in this boss right here, what he actually does is lowers your accuracy by 60%. So for me, for example, all of my characters other than Barn, who is like, I think like 5-6 star at the time, was dealing no damage because my accuracy was so low. I literally couldn't deal damage towards him. So at that point, literally just during that boss fight, maybe getting a bit more accuracy on your rolls could be helpful, and then after you beat it, switch back towards attack. But what you could literally just do is, one, bring a buffer that literally increases accuracy up, like Lascala for example, or because it is an actual debuff, what I did personally was just bring a cleanser. So like Gloxinia, I think, or maybe like I think Zenaria I brought, would that just cleanse the debuff that I got on? So yeah, that once again is like the only time where accuracy actually mattered. See, with all that being said, how should I potential my characters? Always go towards attack on basically everyone, unless you're a tank character, then you go towards HP. Okay, so I'm sure most of you don't know where to get your ambers, but of course the best way is through the Avon battle, where the more damage you do towards Gallant, the more, you know, you're going to get. So it essentially means over time you're going to get a lot more and more and more because you're going to deal more damage towards him. And of course, during like a week where he's favorable against your team that's more built up, you're going to deal more damage. To where right now you can buy more in the shop. I wasn't doing that at the start. I was just buying my legendary tickets, my gems, and that was basically it because that's all I could afford. But then as my account got better and I started dealing more damage towards him, I was then able to buy more of the shop. So I wouldn't buy it straight away. I'd rather focus on getting more characters and more legendaries, leveling up my account, doing more summons, and then once you get towards my point where like you have 116k left over and I'm maxed out the whole shop each week, you're kind of fine. Also, you do get some in story mode just by playing like stage like 1400. I don't know if that's the exact slot, but like you'll eventually get more as well. And then the final thing I want to talk about is the actual potential roles. So if you look right now, some of them are REG, at least for attack, right? I mean, there's others too, but there's a bigger range, right? So right now, you can see I got the lower end of the legendary role. We got 32%. So I'm missing, as you can see right here, 60 missing extra attack because we're missing 8 here, 8 here. I do believe 40% is the highest. Once again, it's never really been a problem to where I have to re-roll for the highest attack legendary. But if you do get to a point where like you're stuck, you have to wait for reset, you have like 59,000, you know, potential. If you want to re-roll to get the higher legendary one, you definitely can. For me personally, it hasn't mattered as much, but do know, even if you do get the legendary roll, you can get the lower end of it. So I do think 40 is the highest, 32 is the lowest. So yeah, that is going to wrap up today's video. If you have any other video recommendations you want me to see me talk about next, then do let me know in the comments below. And yeah, peace.